Welcome back to the Hayden Family Farm. Today we're going to be laying plastic here for our pumpkin rows to plant pumpkins. So we've gone back and forth. There's been a lot of years that we've used plastic and a few that we haven't. We always like the results that we get planting with plastic, weed control. The pumpkins seem to grow a little bit faster, but the issue is always the time to lay the plastic and cleaning it up afterwards. One year we did try a biodegradable plastic, and the following spring there was just pieces of plastic blowing all over the farm. It was just kind of the way it degraded. So we went back to the regular plastic that we've been using for years. And then we went to no plastic. Well, now we're going back to plastic. But we're trying a different biodegradable one. So there was 3 different ones available from Rain Flo. That's where we get the stuff. And one of them only was going to last like 3 months and then degrade. One was 7 months, and then one was the one that we had that, I don't know, it's a year or something. We didn't want that one, obviously. So I picked the one that was 7 months. I figure we would have the best luck, because if we had planted these on time, pumpkins, the plastic would be out for 4 or 5 months, and 3 months just wasn't long enough. So I got the 7-month one, and because I only bought 1 roll, well, it was the most expensive one, and then of course I had it UPS'd here, so it was over $400 for this 1 roll of plastic. I think the regular stuff is like 185 bucks or 150 bucks, something like that. It's like ridiculous. So that's what you're going to see here today. I may have to bleep out some curse words because I have a feeling that this is not going to go well. So when you're laying plastic, well, let me back up a second. So there are 2 brand new rolls sitting here on this layer. Okay, this is the regular stuff that we use. This is a 4,000 foot roll. This is the new stuff we're trying. This is a 4,000 foot roll. I don't know if you guys can kind of see the difference in the size. That tells you how much thinner this is than this. And what I'm concerned about is, as we're trying to create a raised bed and lay the plastic, flip the dirt on it, get it all tucked in, it has to have some minor tension on it. And we can adjust the tension. Right now I have it all the way off basically on this roll, but I'm afraid it's just gonna rip. I cannot believe how thin it is. It's crazy. It feels like the cheapest garbage bag that you could possibly buy at the dollar store. Like, that's how this feels. So obviously people use it, so hopefully it'll work. But that's why I went ahead and put a roll of the regular stuff on here, because if I have a bunch of trouble with this, we're jumping into that. I don't have time to deal with it today. But so this is the stuff here, and we got to get this all tucked in. We got to get the layer adjusted, and then we'll get started. So you guys are going to get to see how this goes today. All right, so we were buzzing along, doing pretty good here, laying our plastic row. And this is one of the things that happens sometimes. The plastic needs to stay underneath these wheels. The wheels hold it down so that then this disc can throw the dirt on it. Well, this one came out from underneath that tire. So then what we have to do, see how this is now kind of flapping? We've got to take the shovel now, and we've got to go ahead and put dirt on that. Otherwise the wind is going to get a hold of it and we're going to have a mess. We're almost at the end of the row, and we will show you guys what we do for the row changeover. All right, we made it to the end of the row. This side popped out on us part way back. My wife's back there shoveling dirt back onto the plastic. So we're at the end now. I was going to show you guys kind of what we do. I think, fingers crossed, the issue with the plastic coming out from underneath twice in 10 feet, I had taken all the tension off this roll because I was afraid it was going to rip. And I think it was kind of almost free spinning there and allowing too much plastic to go down. So now, I don't know if you can see, this is actually stretched fairly tight there, and that's what we want. So the first thing we got to do now that we're at the end of the row is we have to cut the plastic. Try and do this holding you guys here. Now, I already had started picking the plastic layer up a little bit, so at the end of the row, a lot of times the center, you can see here, like that doesn't have a lot of dirt in it, and there's nothing I can really do about that. We're all the way to the end of the row. So once we do that, normally the wind's not blowing quite so bad. We don't want this plastic to get away from us, so we usually keep a shovel, which my wife has right now. We keep that on the plastic layer because at the end of every row, I'll move out of the way here, she's going to finish shoveling the end of that piece of plastic. It is very important when you're laying plastic, especially here where it's always windy, to make sure all your edges are sealed as best they can be. Otherwise the wind will get underneath, and we've had it rip half a row up or half a side up, and we have to go by hand and fix it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pick this up, we're going to spin around, and we're going to get started on that row right there. All right, so now we're at the beginning of the following row, the next row. So first thing we got to do is get our plastic stretched out here. This is getting on my nerves. Okay, we'll tighten it just a tiny bit. Now we've got some plastic, I hope. So we got to get this pulled here. There we go, like that. Got to get a flat back here. Stand on it. We got to get it tucked underneath these two tires on each side. Try not to get in the way here. And then what we do is we got to get the shovel and we throw some dirt on this plastic on the end to weight it down, and then we'll be ready to go. If we were... All right, this has not been successful at all. This row's been terrible. I've stopped 4 times to try to put this, well, I have put it back underneath that tire right there, and it just keeps walking out. I don't understand why. I've tried all sorts of adjustments to the pitch of the plastic layer, to my speed, to the tension of the roll, and it just keeps popping out on this side, and then in 2 or 3 places along the way it's just decided to split wide open. But if I released any more tension, then it comes out even more. I don't really know what to do with it. I'm rather frustrated at this point. And yeah, I don't know if we're going to be using this roll of plastic or not. Trying to save the environment is aggravating and costing me time. So yeah. All right, this day is not going well at all. I filmed the whole clip to you guys, and somehow I hit a button and it didn't record anything, so I have no idea what button it hit. But we have now done 4 rows with the regular plastic with 0 issue. So I don't know what is the matter with the way that we're laying this other one. It makes me sad that we can't lay it, because you know, it is kind of better for the environment, because you can't recycle that plastic once it gets dirty. You have to throw it out. This at least would disintegrate. And the big time saver is that we don't have to clean this one back up. This plastic, we have to go up and down the rows next year or late fall, and we have to clean all this plastic back up by hand. So it was going to be a huge time saver. But I have no idea what the difference is. I switched to this one because I didn't know if maybe there was an issue with the layer, the terrain, how we're doing this year. We've never laid plastic like this before, so because of the way it's plowed, this is sloped a little bit, so I didn't know if that had something to do with it. But we jumped into this roll and boom, right out of the gate, 0 issues. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't have time to deal with it today, so we're just rolling with the other one for now, which is a disappointment. All right, that is it for laying plastic here for 2024. We have all of those rows down there done. I don't know how many are there. You guys can count them if you like. And then we did a bunch of rows up over here. There's still 2 more over that way. I can't turn around enough to show you. My neck hurts. There's still 2 rows over there we didn't do. One's kind of short, and the other one I was under with a battle on a boulder in the middle of that row, and I need the excavator, so it literally is almost dead center in the row, and I don't feel like stopping the plastic and starting it again, so we're not going to do those. And then we have all these rows that you probably can't see. You can see the tops of them here. Over there, there's a whole bunch of rows here that go down over, crest down over the hill. You guys can't see the bottom of them. We are not going to do those. And what we're going to do is, you know, last few years we've really been experimenting on different ways to grow pumpkins, and you know, you could grow vegetables or anything this way too, but trying to save fuel, save labor, do things an easier way, a better way for the ground. So what we're going to try here, last year this was all dirt and we put the seeds in, and of course we got a lot of weed pressure and stuff, but we're going to try putting wood chips in the manure spreader. We have a tree service guy that generally brings us quite a few loads over the summertime, so we have a decent pile. So we're going to try putting the wood chips in the manure spreader. And you know, for those of you who don't know, we just have a small, it's a New Holland 125. It's not much wider than these rows are, so it won't be flinging them too bad, but we're going to go up and down these rows and spread wood chips on the bare dirt, and hopefully that'll suppress, you know, 10-20% of the weeds. It'll help keep some moisture in, because this is all on a hill. Hopefully it'll help a little bit of erosion. Last year we really didn't have much erosion because the weeds grew in so fast. But so we're going to do that on all these rows, and then the 2 that were behind me that I was talking about. So we're going to try that. If I remember, I'll kind of film it just to show you guys how it goes, but we'll see how that goes at the end of the year. It won't be as good as the plastic, but there won't be anything to clean up, and the wood chips will add organic matter to the soil. That will do it for this video. Just a final shot at our cherry for the day. I just stepped in a hole, so that's what we've been running today. New Holland TC45DA and our Rain Flo 2400 plastic layer. This tractor here has been fantastic for doing this kind of things. It's a hydro, it's 45 horse, so it has good amount of power, good traction. Hydro is fantastic, obviously, for doing this kind of stuff. You can do whatever speed you want. And this tractor has the super steer option on it, which I didn't really want, but it was just what was on it. So the front tires like turn ridiculously sharp around in here, and it adds a whole bunch of parts to the front axle, which I don't really care for. We've had some trouble with it, but when you're doing things like this, jetting between rows, it actually comes in handy. You can really make a sharp corner to loop around to the next row. Anyway, so that's what we've been using. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There'll be more videos coming up throughout the season on how the pumpkins are doing. If you're interested, hit the subscribe button. If you wouldn't mind hitting the bell icon and the thumbs up for me, I would appreciate it. I struggled a lot in this video, so I would appreciate the thumbs up. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope to see y'all on the next video.